Welcome back to the healing space. I'm Maya Soul. Being a good person without boundaries can become self destruction. And I know the statement may sound harsh, but it's true. Many of us were raised to believe that being kind means always saying yes. Being loving means always being available. Being loyal means staying no matter how we're treated. But somewhere along the way, we learned how to take care of everyone else while abandoning ourselves. Today's episode is called People Will Use Your Heart If You Let Them. And we're going to talk about what happens when a good heart has no boundaries. One of the hardest truths to accept is that not everyone who benefits from your kindness values your kindness. Some people appreciate your heart, others simply use it. And there's a difference. People with healthy intentions respect your time, energy, feelings, and boundaries. People with unhealthy intentions see your kindness as an opportunity to take, to lean, to depend, to consume, without ever asking themselves what they're giving back. And when you've spent years being the helper, the fixer, the giver, it becomes difficult to recognize when you're being used because overgiving starts feeling normal. Let's start with what I call the emotional dumping ground. Someone only calls when life is falling apart, their relationship is failing, their finances are a mess, they're stressed, they're overwhelmed, and every single time they call, you answer, you comfort them, you encourage them, you calm them down, you help them find solutions, you carry emotional weight that was never yours to carry. But then something interesting happens the moment they feel better. They disappear. Days go by, weeks go by, no check-in, no concern, no conversation until the next crisis arrives. Then suddenly your phone rings again. And eventually you realize your heart became the temporary shelter, not a mutually caring connection, not a healthy friendship, not a reciprocal relationship. You became their emergency contact for life. Then we have what I call the giver. Maybe this one feels familiar. You keep giving money, time, energy, support, forgiveness, second chances. And whenever someone needs something, you're there. You tell yourself, that's just who I am. I'm a good person. I have a big heart. But deep down, something starts changing. Resentment begins building because the same love you freely give is rarely returned. You show up for everyone else's struggles. Nobody shows up for yours. And you continuously pour into people who never pour back into you. And eventually, your kindness starts feeling like a burden because you're carrying everyone while nobody is carrying you. This will happen because good-hearted people often struggle with boundaries because they confuse kindness with self-sacrifice, loyalty with suffering, love with overextending. Many of us were taught that saying no makes us selfish, that putting ourselves first makes us difficult, having needs makes us needy. So we become uncomfortable protecting ourselves. And unfortunately, manipulators recognize that immediately. Some people can identify a people pleaser within minutes. They notice who struggles to say no, who feels responsible for everyone else's happiness, and they quietly begin taking advantage of it. Some people will take until you're empty, guilt trip you when you finally say no, make you feel responsible for fixing their life, convince you that you're selfish for having boundaries. And when you finally stop overextending yourself, suddenly you're the bad person, the selfish one, the uncaring one, the person who changed, comfortable with your generosity, comfortable with your emotional labor. And when you finally establish limits, it disrupts the benefits they were receiving. Not everyone misses you when you're gone. Some people miss what you did for them. That's an uncomfortable truth, but an important one. You're allowed to. Stop over-explaining yourself. Say no without guilt. Protect your peace. Choose yourself. Walk away from one-sided relationships. You do not need permission to prioritize your well-being. You do not need to justify your boundaries. A pure heart still needs discernment. A loving heart still needs protection. Ask yourself, who has access to me that hasn't earned it? Who only appears when they need something? Who becomes upset whenever I establish a boundary? Am I being loved? Or am I simply being used? And if I stop giving today, who would still remain? People will use your heart if you let them, not because your heart is weak, but because some people mistake kindness for permission. Never apologize for having boundaries. And never forget, access to you is a privilege, not a right. I'm Maya Soul. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and most importantly, keep choosing you.